tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove. Synchronized slurp now, we're on the move.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time.
Talking gold and silver and crypto too. With Joe and the gang, it's what we do.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time. We're stacking sats, we're stacking gold. In the world of finance, real gold. Every sip, every chart, we're on our way to financial freedom, come what may.
So grab that tasty beverage, let's get in the groove. Synchronized slurp now, we're on the move.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time. Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time.
There we go. We got there in the end. Don't know why I couldn't find the thing. Is Tesla turning around here? Is Tesla turning around? We'll take a look at that chart today. I find it interesting. It's a potential trade setup. We'll take a look at that. Live gold, silver, platinum analysis. We'll do Bitcoin and crypto too. We'll look at our favorite ones there. If you have a chart request, let me know and I'll have a look at it too. If you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. But if you're watching live, man, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers. With me, Joe Main, coming live to you from Melbourne in Australia on YouTube and on X. In the first couple of minutes, we do the synchronized slurp. It's a favorite part of your day. You grab a tasty beverage. I grab my tasty beverage, non-fluoridated, slightly salted water. How good, how tasty can it get? And we slurp them synchronously together. Yes, you must do an audible slurp. And it is the honor system. We'll know if you don't do it. So just do it. Even if you're in a meeting like we had a subscriber do once before. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, slurp it. Extra long and extra slurpy, just how you like it. I am Joe Main, a stacker of precious metals since 2010, a stacker of crypto since 2013, worked in the retail bullion industry, gold and silver bullion dealers here in Australia, over the 3 major big boys. And I also stepped into 2 of them when they weren't major, and I helped to make them major. You know what I've done there as well. And I do this weekdaily live show now, and I help businesses launch and grow on social media. So can I help you with that? Hit me up with an email. I'll share that a little bit later. Of course, we've got to do our quick shout outs because the early birds catch the shout-outs. Plus, the show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, mastering the markets, masteringthemarkets.com. Neiltown Dynasty, buy silver, platinum, crystallized osmium. Always got to get that in, my friend. Good to see. GMS, hi, Neil. Talking amongst each other. Hey. Jason Razana, GMS, Chat Mum is back. Chat Mum is back. Good to see you. Hope that drive down from drive down 2 cans was pretty good. It's broadcast time. Very good. Silver Fox, thank you. Yes, hit the like button for me. It helps with the algorithm. Thank you very much. Morning all, says Silver Ruger. Morning Joe, says Jason Ashworth. Morning Jason, good to see you. Morning Stackers, synchronized slurp. It is definitely, man, I've got to say, it has to be the favorite part of your day. Anything else we need to chat about before we get into today's proceedings? Probably not. Let's get into, let me find my little my thing here. I'll get rid of you. I don't know why all this happened. I'm going to have to do this manually. Where did my little thing go? Profile, scene, overlays. No, recording, output options, show. Give me one sec. Oh, Windows. I want camera switcher. No, I don't want camera switcher. I want, excuse me, guys, audio bandwidth camera effects. No. No, I don't want camera effects. I'm just trying to find the bit where I can interview into a chat, main window, network cameras, overlays. Oh, overlays. Overlays. No, that's not what I want either. Give me one second. I know this is scenes. Yes, that's the one I want. It wasn't there. Okay, cool. Now we're back and rolling. I'm going to find TSLA for you. This is Tesla. Cool. I'll do that on the daily time frame. Again, none of you can see this. That's okay, but I'll just come back to here. Is Tesla turning around here? We've seen an interesting price rise back over potential, well, back over resistance roughly, a potential trade setup. Doesn't mean Tesla's going to go onwards and upwards from here, but let's take a quick look at it as something I noticed. And of course, just imbibing, not even doing their courses, but just imbibing Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com's way of looking at trades and investments and stuff. I'm just seeing things now that I never saw before. So it's an interesting way to see things you haven't seen before in terms of investments and trades. I just doubled myself up there. Masteringthemarkets.com. They're great. So anyway, let me just share this. Here is Tesla, of course, good old Elon's company, and kind of like, it's really like an Elon proxy. I kind of think, whatever, what SpaceX is doing, I think that has a positive effect on Tesla, etc. But Tesla from a fundamental perspective, I absolutely love from a fundamental perspective over time. Okay, now the price is going to do what the price is going to do, probably almost regardless of fundamentals, because stuff goes in cycles. However, when it's the right time, I think Tesla will go absolutely through the effing roof. And I do see personally, if Elon stays around for a long time, if something bad doesn't happen, okay, of course, it's all that stuff in between. I can see Tesla with robo-taxis, with self-driving, with Optimus, the robots, with all that. I think he's going to be the main player, or at least one of the main players. And I can see, no joke, quadruple digit Tesla, thousands of dollars of Tesla, possibly even close to like $10,000 Tesla, okay, in a long, long time, 10, 20 years from now. Okay, but here's where we are right here. So as you know, I've been watching Tesla. I am watching it. I will be back in Tesla. I've been in it previously. I will be back in when things look like they're lining up on a larger macro scale. But here's a potential trade setup, okay? Here's the high of $488 back in December of last year. Not that long ago, okay? Steady decline. Now you had this bottoming out here, the first bottom right here. Let me do a replay and let me go back. Excuse me, let me go back even slightly further. Exit the bar. I want to go back and do that. Okay, you had a bottom right here in March, just March, okay, of this year, of course. Trump got in, Elon tied to Trump, etc. And then you've seen a pretty steady decline with Doge, etc. People not liking that, selling their Tesla. But it's also just, I think, normal market reactions as well. So a low here of $215. Now, if we show you this on the, I forward that, it's on the daily time frame. Okay, then you saw a quick move back up, and taking from the Fibonacci from this high and this low, assuming this is the low, once you hit over here, it's kind of like, yeah, it seems like a decent low here at that $215 level. So you had a move back to there. Then that was an attempt to break out, failure. Oftentimes from a failed move is a fast move to the downside, and a couple of attempts there, and then double bottom right here, or potential double bottom. We didn't know what was going to happen, okay? So if we go a little bit further, and then that big move right there. Okay, so that was your, okay, attempted to break down, failure, oftentimes from a failed move, fast move in the opposite direction. So we've seen that move back up, okay? And here's where smart traders would have noticed something, and I only noticed it just recently after joining Mastering the Markets and learning more about trading and whatnot. So if I pop on my indicators right here, I have a whole bunch of them, okay? That's that one, which I will get rid of, and I want the one below, okay? That one, and I want that one. Cool. Here it is. So here's what I was noticing. Let me get rid of you. So a bullish divergence. A bullish divergence is where you have a divergence between the price and between various oscillators that you might be using. What I'm seeing is a divergence between, and I could be wrong on all of this. So I've actually posted this, and I'll show you in a second. I posted this. Let me get rid of, where's that? What are you doing right there? This is the OBV, the on balance volume. Actually, that has confirmed on the daily. Did that confirm on the daily? Oh, was I wrong about that? Okay, anyway, here is Tesla. Oh, it's actually done it on all three. Oh, okay. Why didn't I notice that? Anyway, here we go. So on the daily time frame, you have a flattening out. This is if you had have been seeing it back in, okay, that's why we're hindcasting. If you had have seen it back in April the 10th, something like 20 days ago, potential double bottom here, then you would have seen a rise on the relative strength index. You would have also seen a rise, not that the higher high was confirmed, but you were seeing a rise in the on balance volume. You're also seeing a rise in the relative strength, and this relative strength is matching to the NDX, to the NASDAQ. Okay, so it looks like, because Tesla is in the tech stocks industry, so it's highly correlated to the NASDAQ. So why be in Tesla if it's not outperforming the NASDAQ? Okay, so it was showing you that it was outperforming in this time. So, but a flattening out of price. So that's what smart traders would have noticed for a potential setup. Let's go a little bit further forward. Okay, and then we had another potential test, and here's where we are right now. Another potential test, another failed move to break below, and now we're back right here above resistance. Okay, so we're looking quite good. Okay, so there's a potential setup here. We are on the on-balance volume, however, we have moved a bit down. Okay, so that is not confirming, but we still have a confirmation, it looks like, on the relative strength index, and still a confirmation on the relative strength. So let me pop all of those off, and now here's what I'm seeing. Okay, so we are at around about resistance at around about 290, 295 US dollars. Okay, what this could be, however, so there's two potentials here. It could be great onwards and upwards from here, hasn't confirmed it yet. Okay, what this could be is a liquidity grab. Okay, where the two golden rules are: if you come down to support, you're doing it. If you break support, you're doing it for one of two reasons. You're either doing it to continue the trend down, or you're doing it to grab people's stop losses, to grab that liquidity. We've talked about it. Same on the opposite end. When you come up and break through resistance, you're doing it for one of two reasons: just to continue up, or to fake people out, and then it goes, sucked in. I will take your stop losses here, all you shorters, and then we're back down. Okay, so that could be a factor. But there's a potential trade set up here. If this does hold, if we do something like this, roughly, if we find a top here, then you might go like this, like that, and like that. Then we might find a little bit of a tick over. If it does this, okay, let me go back. Let me get rid of that. Sorry, let me get rid of all of that for you. If we hold this level at around about your $280 level and then bounce off, I would say we're looking really good for at least a test of this zone right here. That's called the ZAG zone, and that is somewhere between 300 and, where are we? Where am I? There you go, $320, anywhere up to 385 US dollars. So that's a potential 30% move from here. Now, I wouldn't be saying, and I don't say jump in right now, because again, this could be a liquidity grab and then it just fakes you out right here. But you do something like that, then you get back into the trade. If it does this, then it breaks that again at around about your 290, your 295. That's probably a good indication that you're maybe at least coming up to possibly the top end. Now, no, I don't want you. I want you. Now, this wouldn't be a huge trade, okay? If you find resistance here, you certainly could, because we have some buyers who stepped in here. Now, most of the trapped money that Mastering the Markets talks about, that's their parlance, which I'm kind of imbibing at the moment. If you look, buyers here, buyers here, buyers here. So 3 main sets of buyers here at the top end, and that, gee, where that happens to be at around about $385 at that 0.618, and then some buyers down here, but that was pretty short-lived. Okay, you'll probably have a bit of trap money here. You might see resistance, but more likely, possibly, then you're more likely to see a resistance at around about here. And if that does occur, then that's a roughly 30% trade. You could imagine finding some decent resistance here with the previous people that got in here, and they're not going to, unless they're day traders and they're getting in here and selling out here, which is why you'll see some selling pressure. The investors are not getting in here and then, you know, just selling out here. They're getting in thinking, oh, we're going to new all-time highs, etc. So you have a lot of trapped money around here. Okay, so they'll be thinking, oh man, the psychology of it, they're going, oh man, I don't want to sell. All the ones that didn't sell, okay, and would now have an opportunity to get out at break even. So you probably will see a bunch of resistance around there at that 385 kind of level. Okay, so that's kind of the potential trade. There's a potential 4-to-1 risk to reward here if it goes up to that level. So what you would want to do, and let me find that long position right here. I pop you on, and then I'll put you here, and I'll put you at the stop loss in which you would want to have. So the stop loss I would put, if you wanted to do this trade, and I'm not even saying this is a good potential trade to do, it's just something I'm watching out for. Right here, you would put probably your stop loss at under 207, around about $270. So if you were to get in here, if you do something like this, you get in around about 295 roughly. That's a risk to reward rate ratio of 4-to-1. If it gets up to that $385 level, the chance, the potential you have, and that's why it's a risk to reward. The potential though is that you do find major resistance here, and that's only like at a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, but that's why you have a tight stop loss down here. You take the trade. You would take the trade for the potential 4-to-1 ratio win of 30%. Not bad. 30% on what? How much you're willing to put down. Only put down what you're willing to not lose, what you're willing to have a little bit of a loss on. Okay, so you want to win big and lose small. Okay, right there. So $2.70. So that's what you could stand to lose. I haven't done this trade, by the way, but if something like that pattern happens, I think I might, and you stand to lose 7%. Okay, so if you put, you put $1,000 down, you might lose $70. Okay, are you happy to lose $70 for the potential to win? Where are we? For the potential to win, $300, for example, or then multiply that by putting $5,000 down on $10,000, whatever that is for you. So there's something to consider. Okay, so that is a potential trade, and over the longer term, I am bullish on Tesla. And of course, if you want to buy it from an investment point of view, well then you just want to buy and dollar cost average into that, which I'm not doing at the moment. I'm looking for the real kind of best risk to reward at the moment to get back into Tesla. I'm not in, but if you were, I'm just going to buy and hold Tesla and just hold it for the next 10 to 20 years. Okay, what would be a good sign for you that it's heading onwards and upwards? A clear break of, is that a highlighter or a brush? That's the brush. A clear break of that level there. Get out of that trapped money. Do something. Well, once it gets out of that trapped money, you're pretty much good to go. So I would say that 385 level is key, and then you'd be looking for all-time high. Got to watch out for double tops, but depends what the rest of the market is doing, I guess. And then higher prices from there. And then we'll talk, your $650s, your $1,000 and all that kind of stuff. I'm very bullish on Tesla in the longer term. Okay, that is the potential Tesla trade setup. You do your own due diligence, not financial advice. Do I have any comments on Tesla and Elon David Smith says, great show yesterday, Joe. You are welcome. It was a lot of fun yesterday. What did we talk about? We talked about how not to get scammed buying gold. We did talk about that, didn't we? That was fun. That was a good show. Morning, all, says Knackers O'Reilly. Fantastic day in Melbourne today. Okay, it's a little bit overcast where I am. The old double bottom. Who do we know loves an old double bottom? Jason Ashworth loves an old double bottom. Love me some Simpsons woo-woo. Oh, you've got some Simpsons woo-woo going on? Okay, let me go back in the... I just watched a short on The Simpsons. It predicts Trump and Elon gets voted in. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. There is a reason for Tesla stock going up. Yes. Because people are buying it. Is there another reason I need to know about? Is there going to be some kind of... because Jason is our token liberal. Jason's our token classic liberal. And as in left side, not liberal in Australia, because liberals are right-leaning in Australia. It's a whole different thing. So he's our token lefty, and he's our token Elon disliker. So there's a reason for Tesla stock going up. Yes, people are buying it. Why are people buying it? Well, people are trading it. They're seeing that double bottom. They're seeing it break above resistance and all that. Are you saying there's something more nefarious going on? Jason Ashworth? He's a South African like me. Can't get in, but I guess money can buy a lot. Okay. The department. Oh, good. The Department of Transportation loosened self-driving car restrictions. I wonder how that happened. Because I love you, Jason. You always go to the opposite extreme of, well, it's just influence. It's this, that, and the other. It could also be someone makes a good argument. It could be like, well, it's the future. It's this and that. Is a little column A, little of column B, but what you're doing there is, and I can't do it, okay, but I just take the other side of it. What you're doing there is you're attempting to mind read the inner intentions of another person, which we can't do. That's not a thing in reality. Mind readers aren't a thing. Psychics aren't a thing. That's all cold reading, bull dust, okay? None of that's a thing, okay? And you can't read the mind of another stranger. So you're saying, in essence, what you're saying there, Jason, is, well, Elon only wanted to get in so he could, benefit his own company, and he doesn't care about people. He doesn't care about the country and all that. I'm not saying you're saying that, but I kind of think that's where you kind of sit. So correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, no one knows. Okay, it could be, but also it could be equally true based on what he's said. Now, you have to do it on what people say. Now, you could call him a massive liar if you want. There's nothing that tells me that Elon Musk is a huge, massive liar. Everybody tells lies, of course. But when I see him talk about this kind of stuff, he is dead serious, like total dead serious. I'm doing this to save the country. If I don't help save the country, there's no country. I don't have it. And look, it is self-preservation, because if the US goes down, well, Tesla goes down. Okay, if the US goes down, the world goes down, Tesla goes down. But it's like everybody's FUCK'd, right? Everybody's that. So, it's good for him, but it's good for him because he actually survives, which is good too. Jason himself loves some woo-woo. He loves a big bottom woo-woo. He does. Yes, Joe. All right, people. Let's get to some other stuff. We're going to do gold, silver, platinum analysis, crypto too. Get your chart requests in if you have them. But first, of course, buy from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, best bullion dealer in all of Australia. Need I tell you any more? No. Do I harp on it every single day? Yes. Are they the best? Yes. Buy for them. Free shipping when you have over 20 or more items in your shopping cart. Mix and match, not just 20 of one thing, 20 of anything, okay? 3 of that, 2 of that, 5 of that, whatever, 20 or more items. Free shipping Australia-wide, not internationally. Sorry, they don't sell internationally at the moment. And express delivery, sign-on delivery, all that good things that you get from other companies, except you don't pay for it, and it's a very small amount to purchase, okay? You can purchase as little as 20 1/10 ounce silver rounds. which are like $8.50 or something each at the moment. Real cheap. Okay, 160, 170 bucks, and you're getting free shipping. Come on, man, that's great. perthbullion.com.au, and of course, my new brand sponsor, Mastering the Markets. This is the academy. This is the back-end portal of Mastering the Markets. So if I go back right here, you really should be checking out Mastering the Markets. Let me go Mastering the Markets. Mastering. Oh, why have I not got that? Mastering the Markets. .com. Australian owned, operated educational school. It's a school, basically. It is a school. It's learning how to be a great investor and a great trader. Okay, so do you want to be better at investing in general over the longer term? Mastering the Markets, I would suggest their 10-week foundational course would be for anyone at all who's interested in just being a better investor. If you don't want to be a trader, that's okay, don't be a trader. But learning the Dow theory principles and technical analysis foundations helps you just to be a better investor, whether you're investing in precious metals, crypto, stocks, whatever it is, right? For 10 weeks, you get full-on amazing education by people who know what they're talking about. So from like ASX Trader, as you know, David, ASX Trader, has been a successful trader for a long time. He came from the educational world. He was a teacher, then he was a deputy principal, and he's taken all those educational principles that he learned. He even dragged people along from the education sector into Mastering the Markets to sort of head up the course production and stuff like that. Okay, so it's really education focused and done very, very well. So if you're an investor, you just want to get better at investing, the Dow Theories, the 10-week course is great. Or if you want to learn to be a really great trader, to earn money from trading, you can do the year-long comprehensive course, which is the one I'm planning on doing starting in July. That's the next intake. Okay, so that's 40 weeks. There's 4 terms, the entire 12 months. Okay, when you come out of that, you're like a full-on, you got all the knowledge, man. With that, you could then go to brokerage companies, okay, and say, hey, I've learned this. Let me buy and sell for you. And what they do is they basically loan you money. I guess is kind of how it works. I don't know fully how it works, but they give you money to trade, and then you place those trades, and then you make a portion of those profits. Okay, so that's one way they can do it. Or they might just pop you on a salary, for example. So you could become a professional trader after 12 months of doing this course. Okay, if you're looking for a career change, for example. Or if you don't want to do any of that, you don't want to do a course, but you want to just learn about what ASX Trader and the other people here, what they're looking at, just the stocks, the precious metals, the larger fundamental analysis of investing, okay, what they're doing, you can just join the academy. Okay, for free. You can actually do it for free. I'll put a link below to Mastering the Markets, to the academy, masteringthemarkets.com, academy.masteringthemarkets.com. There's a free version where you get some of the free stuff, but all the free stuff you can get publicly anyway, where they post on free social media. But if you want the back end of stuff, this is where it will be a paid membership. I'm sponsored by Mastering the Markets, so I get that complimentary. But for $250 a month, you get all of ASX Trader stuff, Craig's stuff, the other Craig stuff, Frank's stuff, Jonathan's stuff, the interns. You've got Tung and macro analysis. You've got Shane's Elliott Wave stuff, and all the things that people post. So give you an example, I literally this morning I posted this potential trade setup here on Tesla. Now, people are going to see this. They'll get their notifications in the morning, and some of them I'm waiting for. Some of them might comment. So here's someone posted about something called EDV, and then a bunch of very smart people posted underneath saying, oh, here's what to look for, here's what to not look for, and here's where you might be wrong, here's where you might be right. I've done the same, had a couple of likes. I'm expecting some comments on that, and people saying, that Tesla trade setup is possibly good, but have you considered XYZ? So I'm learning to be a better trader just with the Academy portal access as well. So again, I'll put a link below, Mastering the Markets and the Mastering Markets Academy. That was a long one, wasn't it? Let's go. No, I don't want you. I don't want you yet. I want you. Let's go through the quick market update. Not a lot has changed. Here's the quick market update on precious metals. We'll do Bitcoin, crypto as well, and I'll take some chart requests if I have time. Here is gold on the daily time frame, US dollars, 3,316. Nothing's changed from yesterday. Nothing to say. Still expecting lower moves into this zone, the normal support zone, anywhere between 3,130 down to 2,900 with a possible 2,700. Nothing has confirmed yet that we are moving back up. Expecting lower prices to come unless we hold very quickly, unless we hold 3,275 roughly. That's it. Gold. Silver, $32.90. Nothing's really changed from yesterday. Got to clear and break $35 in order to say continued game on. Don't know where silver's going to go. If gold continues to have a bit of a dip, like I think it will, then you could see some lower levels. Just dollar cost average, and you'll be good to go over the longer term. 3, 5, 10 years. Silver's going to double digits, easy, no problem whatsoever. Okay, so just dollar cost average. Watch out for the 10% chance, maybe even 5-10% chance of a dip down to about 23 to 24 US dollars. I'm not saying it's happening. It's like 5-10% chance. We're much closer to $35. Breakout, do that, and then great. Cool. That is silver. XPT, platinum. Platinum is still just holding above its breakout point right here. Let me get rid of you. Right here, that's good to see. Great, just needs to hold preferably 980 US dollars. Previous resistance here, previous resistance broken through. Now it needs to hold as support. And then let's do something like, I can come down a little bit further, that's fine, but let's do this and break out of here. And then we'll talk more game on for platinum in a trading range at the moment. Platinum is in accumulation mode. Okay, so you want to be getting into things when they're in accumulation mode rather than when they've had a massive move. Okay, that's gold on the monthly. Here was your accumulation time for gold between August of 2020 and, well, August of 2020 and March of last year was your time to accumulate gold between those ranges there. Okay, and then it had its breakout. Preferably, again, you can be buying gold here, but the preferable thing is you want to find the setups where it's in accumulation mode, not in the public participation phase or the potential excess phase. Okay, you want to get in these levels rather than that kind of level. You're kind of chasing the FOMO there. Okay, now again, dollar cost averaging, fine, because if you're doing it for the next 5, 10 years, etc., great. You bought some here, you bought some here. Hey, maybe you bought some here, but you've averaged your cost in over time. Fantastic. But yeah, preferably you want to be getting in on the accumulation. What does that look like? Okay, that looks like accumulation to many, many people. Okay, let me get rid of all that flotsam and jetsam so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, that's accumulation, people, on platinum. Now, I am not in platinum again yet. I'm thinking about it, but not in just yet. Okay, but that is definite accumulation. You would be finding the breakout, or you might want to wait for the breakout. Okay, that's fine too. Okay, so you wait for it to do its thing. Maybe it's going to accumulate for a little bit longer. Pick a time, I don't know, sometime in 2026, but at some time it will break this downtrend line. Okay, and that'll break that roughly 1,000-ish kind of dollar level. That'll probably be breaking my, oh no, not that one. Then you do that. That's the point right there. Ignore the time frame, could happen much sooner. Okay, but that. Oh, Nelly, game on. Nelly. Game on for platinum. Okay, but if you want slow and steady wins the race, get in during accumulation or just out of the breakout. Okay, just when you have the breakout of accumulation, that's the perfect time to get in, or somewhere down here. Okay, so really consider platinum. Gold, silver, platinum. Rhodium is not over its level. I need to see it over. It's not under a level where I would say that it is game over. So just in a trading range for rhodium, you can buy physical rhodium. Don't buy physical rhodium. It's too much of a pain in the butt to do. So I want to see it cross over, get out of this thing right here. So that's around about 680 US dollars. Break through there and I'll consider getting into rhodium. cross down below through here at around about 480, so it's about a $200 range, then yeah, nah, not yet, okay? The signals are potentially on for to watch this, so I'll keep watching it, and I'll let you know if when it does that, rhodium might be a good play. Gold to silver ratio is still hovering at around about 100. It's been sitting at around about 100 for quite some time. Don't know yet. Short answer. I did want to quickly take a look at SIL for you. This is silver miners. Okay, we've looked at this quite recently, but I just want to show you where we are at the moment. And I did post on the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum. Why did that happen? Let me go here. Facebook annoys me because it takes you out of the thing that you were in, that you wanted to be in, that you didn't want to be out of. It's so annoying to me. It had auto updates. Anyway, this is the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum, the premier forum for Gold and Silver Stackers in Australia, hence the name. We've just ticked over to 8.8 thousand members. Okay, it's a private group. If you can find it, I don't know if you can find it on the search function, but if you have someone that you know is in there, they'll give you an invite. Okay, 8.8 thousand members. Find that one. Don't find the copycats, which have a smaller amount of people. Buy, swap, and sells and all that, but I post here every day. This was about SIL, Silver Miners Index. I said Silver Miners Index experiencing some resistance here. If it can crack above $45, then the next leg up is likely. $55 is the big one, big resistance. I know if you don't hold it, you don't own it. I get that. But some see the additional play of being in the miners because it will happen at some point, when it massively outperforms the physical. It will happen, okay? Something to consider, okay? Here is SIL, the silver miners. We've broken out just here, that kind of $40 level. We're finding resistance right now at 43. We are finding some resistance, so we're not out of the woods just yet, but we're at support. If we can keep support, and I would say, if we're basing it on Fibonacci, from this high and this low, we came and tested bang on. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it interesting how Fibonacci works? It's almost like people believe it's a good thing, and then they place their trades accordingly, and then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Funny that, isn't it? I will accept anywhere down to, from here to here, I'll accept anywhere down to, gee, what do you know? Previous support right there at the 0.5 mark, so $38, okay? Anywhere down to $38, fine to have a bit of a dip. Okay, that's fine. For me, I mean, with Fibonacci, you could probably say down to that 36, but I wouldn't like to see it close below that previous level there. Okay, so that's, for me, it's there. I want it to hold. So hold 38, cool. Break onwards and upwards, good. Preferably, let's just hold around here and then just do a move up. Now, if you break this 43, that's a good sign. On the shorter term, on the longer term, I want to see a break of 45. Let me take you to the weekly. This blue line right here is my resistance line that I'm looking to break, and I've got an alert on there, so that's why that's there. That's why that's there. But the 0.382 is very key to get through. So from this high and this low all the way down back in January of 2016. So the highs of 93 in 2011. What was happening in 2011? The peak of the silver bull market. And then silver miners went absolutely nuts. Then moved down to $15. That's interesting. $15. 2016, not March of 2020. 16. So this high and this low. And you've got the 0.382 right there. So that's that. That's that zag zone, which you need to get through in order to say, SIL, Silver Miners Index, is going to experience much higher highs. Okay, you get through there and you're good. But there's the bottom end of it right there at $45. So it needs to crack through 45, and then it has to absolutely crack. And the big one is here at that 55. And that happens to be, gee, what do you know again? From this high and this low, right there, major resistance at the Fib 500, at the 0.5 Fibonacci from this high and this low. Isn't that funny how it works? So get through $55 and you'd be looking pretty good. Back here, this is going back to 2011. So you do have some trapped money, as they call it right about here. There, buyers, 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 buyers around there. But gee, I mean, if you bought SIL back in 2011 and 2011, yeah, and you're still holding now, I think most would probably be shaken out. You'll probably have some resistance around about here at your 0.618 at your $64, $65 level. But I mean, I don't know how many people are willing to sit around for 15 years on one thing. You're probably over that time, you've probably been shaken out, because there's two ways you get shaken out of your investments, either through price, because it just goes way too low. It's like, I'm out of this thing. Or you go, oh no, it's going to go back up. It's going to go back up. And then it just ranges between here. Imagine being so annoyed that you bought here, right? Then it goes down to here. It's like, I'm going to hold it. It'll go back eventually. Oh, we're going back up. Oh, it found resistance here. Oh, it's going back up again. Oh, we found resistance here. Then you get to nearly 15 years later and you're like, oh, it's never going back up. So you got shaken out through time. So that's why I don't think a lot of resistance here. So you break, yeah, I mean, you'll have a little bit of resistance, but then you're onwards and upwards, I would say. So get through that 65, but yeah, 45 and 55 are your big resistance levels. We're not there yet, needs to crack through that 45. Cool. That's silver versus, and of course, as I've shown you before, silver versus the physical silver. So silver miners, silver versus silver right here. We made a play for it. Okay. We haven't cracked it just yet, but as this goes up, it's better to be in the silver miners, okay, rather than the physical silver itself. Massive bottom here. Everyone loves a massive bottom, particularly Jason Ashworth loves a good old massive double bottom. There's massive bottoms right here, and it's setting itself up. It looks pretty darn obvious that it will be eventually breaking here, break that market structure of 1.27, and then onwards and upwards we go. Where to? I don't know exactly, but at least to the top end here. Somewhere in here is looking good, and probably over a longer period of time, possibly, even here. So imagine doubling your silver stack simply by holding silver miners, or doubling a portion of your stack. Okay, so watch out for that. That's all the precious metals. I want to show you SIL. Let's go to Bartkarl, brah. Let's see. Don't you love this show? I give you accents and everything. This is Bitcoin. Ah, yes, Bitcoin. Here we go. Here is Bitcoin and other crypto on Good Morning Stackers. You're watching Good Morning Stackers. Here is Bitcoin on the Bitstamp exchange, priced in US dollars, 94,400 roughly. Nothing else to say. Same thing. This is going to be really, really quick. Okay, hasn't broken above. Let's take a look at the specific things. I'll get rid of that, and I'll get rid of that for now. Let's take a look at the relative strength index. What is it saying? Do we notice any kind of divergences in the positive or negative direction? If I go on the 4 hour, yeah, we're still playing out that potential hidden bullish divergence. Okay, so we had the bearish divergence, price go up, so higher high, lower high, then you saw a bit of a consolidation. Now, higher low, lower low, okay, is a potential hidden bullish divergence, so nothing's confirmed, and that's all you really need to know. Okay, until we break above 96,000, until we do that, it's either party's game. We're in no man's land still for Bitcoin. I'm not saying 100% it's going that way. I'm not 100% saying it's going that way. Need to see that. If I start seeing this, ooh, yeah, you start breaking and closing and finding resistance below 88,000, bad news bears. So the question is, people were selling here, okay, they're selling here, then they started buying up here, and now you come back and now they're selling here again. Why are they doing that? You have to ask that question, why, and that's not good news, okay? Yeah, those are the two scenarios. Let's do that though, please and thank you, because I like money. That's Bitcoin. Others, ooh, okay. Others finding resistance, okay. Finding resistance at the 240, 250 kind of mark. $1 billion market cap. Caution, bar replay isn't available for current symbol. I don't care. I don't need your bar replay. Finding resistance at 245 billion. Trading range, not a lot to say. Got to hold the $220 billion mark. Same as yesterday. Nothing to say here. Do that. Bad news. Do that. Fake us out. Do that. Great. Looking fantastic. Trading range, nothing to say. Let's go to some specific crypto. I did mention in my Twitter, in my X post, Algo. Okay, I want to show you Algorand. Okay, on the larger time frame, potential setup. Okay, there's some good news for Algo. So far, we're back above my 16-cent getting interested line. I did Algo, a number of months ago. It would have been last year I talked about it, and I had all these stuff set up here. Now, this is previous to me learning even more about trading and mastering the markets and imbibing their stuff in the back end and all that. But it's pretty obvious, okay? You had massive support here at that 16-cent level. Support here, broke support, became resistance here. This is on the weekly time frame. So obviously when you broke through, a line in the sand that you didn't want to cross was 16 cents. Okay, now I said back here before we did that, you can have a spike, but spikes mean SHIT. It's all about where you close at. So what did we do a number of weeks ago? Just like a month ago, we spiked below 16 cents, but look at that. Isn't that funny? Exact closes. So it closed here, had a spike below, but closed that week above it. So that was good news. Okay, so good short-term news for Algorand above 16 cents. We're not out of the woods just yet, though. Okay, because what I need to see and is it at least get above the 87 cent line right here. If you were wanting to get into algo, and I'm not saying to do that here because crypto might from here, there's your potential a target that if you're wanting to buy here, that would be a target I would be looking at getting out at, or at least recouping your initial investment, okay? Or possibly even more at that 87 cent level. That's a key level right here. You can see on the Fibonacci, that's the 0.236. And is there any sign saying we might be onwards and upwards from here? We've had that recent rally like everything else has had. So you had bullish divergence, price go down, oscillator go up. Okay, so that's what set it up for that move to here, although we're not out of the woods yet. Okay, because what you would want to see is this. You want to see it get into the zag zone, as it's called, and you wanted to see it break there. So for algo, you want to see it get through this zone right here. And out of interest, gee, isn't it interesting where this zone right here has a lot of recently trapped money? Right there, right in this zone. Whoa, fuck off. Highlighter is better. Bang, 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 bang. Resistance here. Well, that's sellers, so don't worry about that. But that's where the trapped money is right there in that zone. Isn't that funny? So get through there, then you'd be looking at smoother sailing to the next level. Highlighter and brush. And then you'd be looking, probably definitely going to clear there, and you'd be coming up to at least that 87, 90 cent area. So clear here. Do something like this, a bit of resistance here, maybe a bit of choppiness, and then there, and that'll be good. Cool. Nowhere near there yet. You can easily find resistance here, and then we just have a move back down, and you don't want to break there. I would say there now, around about 17, 18 cents would be your death knell. Not good, right? Back down below there? Yeah, not great. Okay. That's algo. What else did I mention? I mentioned Algo, GRT, and good old Toshi. GRT, the graph is something I am watching out for, so that's why it's still on my radar. Was looking good, and still looking potentially good. We just need to get above this level here of that 10, 11 cent mark. Bullish divergence, just like everything's had a bit of a recent rally. That's good to see. Okay, bullish divergence, number go down, oscillator go up. Seen a resistance point at where? Oh, isn't that funny? Exact trend line. Okay, going back to 2021, through there. So through there, and there's the main one. And then exact resistance. So we've had resistance twice. Okay, on GRT. We found resistance here, and now we've found resistance there. That needs to break very quickly. Potential inverse head and shoulders set up here. Lift head. left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You would need to probably come down to at least 8.5 cents in order to call that the right shoulder. Hey, if it just does this, great, that's fine, no problem. But if it does come down to around about 8.5 cents, you wouldn't want to see it really close much lower than there. Potential move like that. Okay, so watch out for the inverse head and shoulders potential, but you would want to see it come down to 8.5 cents first, and you wouldn't be scared about it. Be like, oh, but if it breaks 8.5, yeah, not good. Okay, do something like that, yes please, or just break through and do that, and then you'd be on to your next level. And the big change of market structure for me would be here at 15 cents. That also aligns with this uptrend line right here. Okay, so break 15 cents and you could be good for the longer term in the graph. That's the graph. And finally, and if I have a chart request, I will take it. You're going to, yes, I'm a human. I am a human being. I have feelings too. Let's go with good old Toshi McTosh. Where are we? Here is Toshi on the daily time frame price in US dollars, hovering around that 0.0004 level. So far, it needs to hold. Okay, we've broken below on the 4 hour. It is the meme coin of meme coins, the face of base, Toshi the cat, owned by CEO Brian Armstrong of Coinbase, and they listed it on Coinbase. That's why he had the massive run up to 2.2 cents. I think it was 2.2 cents. Was it cents? No, not cents. Fractions of a cent. 0022. Yeah, that just needs to hold really quickly. Okay, that looks like that's broken. Not great. Okay, so potential move down now. So watch out for. You would look at probably, I'd say there to there. You don't want it to break through right here at 0.0036. Okay, so that's your area you don't want to break. Don't break there, please. And that one, sorry. Don't break here, please. 0.0036. Not a good level to break through. Bad news bears. Okay, and then probably downwards we go. We need it to clear and hold that 0.0004 level. Okay, so nice little move, not out of the woods just yet. Okay, that is Toshi. Any chart requests and comments, etc. Let's see. Simpsons predict Bitcoin goes to $1 and XRP to $100,000 in 2025. Did they actually do that, or are you making that up? Did they actually do that? I want to know. Let's see. Comments, and do we have any chart requests as well? Oh, lots of comments here. Lots of people watching. Fantastic to see. You are watching Good Morning Stackers, the weekdaily live show with me, Joe Main, about all things investing, precious metals, crypto, stocks, and all that stuff. We love our precious metals here, though, don't we? Let's see. Voldemort will be... I've called him Voldemort too. He does... This is. Oh, I think I've said this on the channel. Yeah, you think Voldemort will be our next PM? We're talking about Peter Dutton, of course, on the conservative side of Australia. Okay, it's usually between the two, the left, the Labor Party and the Liberals. Again, in Australia, Liberals are conservatives. I know it's weird. So Labor is left, Liberals are right. Head of the Liberal Party is Peter Dutton, and it's just highly unfortunate that he looks like Voldemort. He's just like fully like pale skin, fully shaved, like no hair on his head whatsoever. It just kind of got those kind of features. It's just bad from a persuasion, just kind of an aesthetics one. It's like, like could we not have had on the conservative side just someone who looks a bit more not like an evil dictator, like an evil person? It just sucks. It's just that one little extra play, because people base a lot of their voting on the way someone looks. It just is what it is. How tall they are, facial hair, glasses, all that kind of stuff, right? Just that's human nature. Weird how, this is on Tesla, weird how Waymo have had their self-driving cars since 2020 and didn't need the regulations softened. Anyway, I don't know what that means really. Much of a muchness. Don't ruin my day, Tony. Yeah, no. Joe, how much is the Mastering the Markets course? Good question. So for the 10-week foundational course, it's around about $3,500 US. For the 12-month full-on course, it's around about 11,000, 12,000 Australian dollars. Okay, so you're investing. Okay, it's an investment for your future with the 12-month. But if you want to just learn to be a better investor, do the foundational course. Okay, and the good thing about the Mastering the Markets foundational course is that when I share the screen right here, the foundational course, the 10-week course, it can actually lead you into the full-time course. And this is what I learned. So if you do the foundational, right, and then you go, oh, I really want to learn more. They go, okay, well, we'll just tack you on to the rest of the 12-month, and then you just pay the difference. Okay, so you don't have to pay for 2 courses, right? You're not paying 14, 15 grand because you did one, because part of the 12-month course is starting with the 10-week Dow Theory Principles and Technical Analysis. So you could join the 10-week one and then go, oh, this is actually really good. I want to continue for the next 30 weeks after that, and then you just pay the difference. Okay, and it's $250 Australian dollars per month for the back end, for the portal, for the Academy portal, which is, I'm finding already highly invaluable to me. Okay, I'm already getting lots of, and again, these educator calls and stuff. I won't go through it all, but you get ASX Trader on private videos, not his videos on YouTube that are public. Private videos, private live streams twice a week. Okay, you get a Sunday market scan, and then you get a Wednesday, it's happening tonight, where you can pile in, give him your tickers. Oh, can you look at GRT? Can you look at Bitcoin? Can you look at this uranium stock? And he goes, yeah, cool, I'll just take a look at it. Here's what I'm seeing. Oh, I'm looking forward to that tonight. It's going to be great. I've got my own tickers ready at the ready. So yeah, that's how much the courses are. Let's go back here. Yeah. Living Out of Men said about 3,500, 3,600. Yes, that's for the foundational. If I had the time to dedicate to trading, the course would be well worth it, in my opinion. Do agree. Sick of being on the tools in another cold winter in Melbourne. Yeah. Massive bottom. I know you do, Jason. You might be able to get a group GMS subscriber discount. So I am currently, I'm thinking about that. I'm also wondering if there's anything I can do on that stage. I've just joined, okay, so I don't like to hit people up with stuff, but you never know, okay, you never know. Being able to work from home is great. I do agree with that most of the time. There are pros and cons to working from home, I'll tell you that much. Pros and cons, it depends where you are in your life cycle. You know, if you got little ones running around, it's a lot harder. Have you got someone saying, oh, can you just come out and, oh, I just need your help. Can you just grab the... That gets a little difficult. Sometimes I need to go to the other office. Let's see. Knackers offering GMS count. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. You do what you can, you do. So let's see. They have never been wrong. Who needs analysis? Just watch The Simpsons. Yeah, exactly right. Simpsons predicted... No, did they? Come on. Did they? Simpsons predicted the tariffs in 2025. Did they really? As I heard, Bitcoin was a test coin. The Simpsons episode called it a test coin. Okay. Dead set. Oh my God. All right. I'll have to look up all these woo-woo stuff about The Simpsons. How is that possibly true? I don't see. Well, okay. Sorry. Let me go back. All right. No, I'm not going to do. I'm going to do Tony, can you remind me to do almost like a whole topic on one of the shows coming up about The Simpsons and that, because there's actually a case to be made for it. There's actually a case to be made, and I can see that. When he retired from the force, colleagues left cans of dog food on his desk. Who are we talking? What? Peter Dutton? Is that what you're saying? Interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay. Is that true? How do we know that? Is that true? Could be. It could be. But, not everyone is going to be liked. And to be an effective leader, you got to piss some people off. I think we're good to go, people. Yeah. You've watched Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. You'll message me the YouTube channel link. Yes, please. That'd be awesome. Thank you, Tony. I'll probably talk about that in a specific topic, the whole Simpsons prediction thing. And it's going to be like, it'll be the documentary effect, which is when you watch a documentary on something, a documentary is not meant to give you the truth. It is meant to persuade you. Okay, that's why people make documentaries. Okay, for the most part, not like necessarily every single documentary, but you can watch a documentary and go, oh my God, I didn't realize that. Then you can watch the opposite to that documentary and go, oh my God, that last documentary, that was full of shit, right? And you'll send the story of what Voldemort did too. No problem. I will take that. That will be a fun one, a Simpsons one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get out of here. You have been watching Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. The last thing we do is a final synchronized slurp, and we do dance it out because who doesn't want to dance out the start of your day? It's 10:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great morning, a great day, or a great evening, whatever you're doing. Grab your tasty beverages, and you will get another Good Morning Stackers tomorrow, okay? Every single weekday with me, Joe Main. Are you ready, people? Let's dance it out. You've been watching.
Oh yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stackers. It's podcast time.
Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do that.
Synchronize.
3, 2, 1, go.
We're on the move.
Thanks, funky people. Love your funky work, you funky ass mofos. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking what you're stacking, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.